Well, if you are a Pink Floyd fan and someone who loves fun in general, you might want to make plans to see Randomonium at Judson Mill in a few weeks. We've got Chapman, the lead singer of Randomonium and co-band leader, and then drummer John Bellino. Welcome. Great to see you both.
Good to be here.
Good to be here.
This is a whole theatrical performance. Give us the overview.
Okay, so I think what makes it special is that you have other bands who play Pink Floyd, maybe even songs from The Wall. We're going to do it in its entirety.
And Pink Floyd's The Wall, obviously such an iconic rock opera. Talk a little bit about what makes it so powerful and what makes it so engaging for people.
Well, first of all, it should be noted that it is the #1 best-selling double album of all time. So there's a reason for that. It's a drama. It's a rock opera. It's almost like Broadway meets an album meets the theaters, because it was also made into a movie that it was so dramatic. So.
And what kinds of reactions do you get? I'm sure you sit behind the drums and every once in a while you look out, and what kind of connection are you making with people during this?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's actually really interesting because people really connect with the music. They I don't know if it's lyrically or sonically, but they really enjoy it, and you see a lot of smiles and movement and happy stuff.
And I know you've got props and costumes. What do you have in front of you? We brought a few things.
Yeah, so this is one of the unique things about our show. You know, you as I said before, you have bands that play Pink Floyd and play some songs from the album and other albums. But we actually try to bring the dramatics to the stage itself. So like in the original movie, there's these props, these things associated with the movie. When Pink Floyd in 1980 did it, there were, these various things that we're going to show you in a second that were associated with it. So, so maybe you remember this from you. We don't need no education, right? So like the kids in the movie were wearing this mask as they're singing. We're being conformed and
you made this for the show. I mean, this is some homemade stuff. You've got people you worked around, made it really authentic.
Absolutely,
same kind of thing. And then there's another mask that side.
So yeah, John, you want to explain this particular one?
No, but you can. I'll hold it up.
So in the movie, there's a lot of what you might call mama drama, but at the very end of it, there's a whole trial that sort of puts his life on trial because he's isolated himself. The Wall is about like how we isolate ourselves from one another and from the world, and how that can turn into hate, which brings in this one, which is the bullhorn, where he kind of becomes a dictator, and he's sort of yelling kind of in the way that he sort of characterizes his teachers growing up. So the movie is about like the ways we separate ourselves from one another, and that can actually turn into violence and kind of ugliness. But the amazing thing is they do it in such a way that musically that it just draws you in so many ways.
And I know that the lighting is also spectacular. What does it do?
Well, when you talk about the lasers, obviously that is generally associated with Pink Floyd, like Dark Side of the Moon. What's different is you still obviously have the lighting, which is a powerful component, and you have visuals in the background. Like we have like a state-of-the-art screen where different images, perhaps even from the movie, are projected onto the screen. So it's a full immersive experience. Like I said, not just a bunch of musicians standing around doing a good job of a song, but you feel almost drawn in. It's almost like dinner theater kind of.
What an experience it is. And so you're bringing Pink Floyd's masterpiece to life one more time before retiring the show. Talk about that and what you hope people gain from the experience.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily something that we would never do again, but we feel in the area we've performed it, and people have really appreciated it, but I mean, we're Randomonium. This is one of our, you might say, on the menu, one of the things on the menu that we do, and we love to play all kinds of music. We put a lot into this album from the symphonic components. We have our keyboardist who actually puts together arranges the kind of, there's at the end there's a kind of a symphony, there's a kind of Broadway thing. So we have a lot goes into it, but that's not the only thing we do as a band. And so we're not saying never again, but we also feel like we do a lot of things. But this deserves a good showing, especially at a place like the Foundry, which is so big.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, that venue itself is just makes it for a great event, a great night of fun and dancing. And we'll put that information on screen. But anything else we should know about what's going on between Randomonium and Neon Arcadia coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say last thing about the Foundry. It's a big venue, and some people like to just watch the show. So they are going to be allowing you to bring your seating.
Very good.
So it's it's 1,000-person capacity, but please do get your tickets. We'll be putting that information online. But yeah, as far as the future of Randomonium and our different incarnations. Where there's always, you never know what you're going to get next. That's kind of our motto with Randomonium. That's why we named ourselves that. So
we're always on the edges of our seats until we get up and dance, because that's what you do for people.
That's definitely very important. We wouldn't stop because, the wall, there's only so much dancing that can go on in the wall there. So.
But you provide plenty. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for
Go see Randomonium's tribute to Pink Floyd, The Wall. One final time. It is Friday, August 15th at the Foundry at Judson Mill. Tickets are online for $25.